What's up, guys? So this is it. This is the promised tutorial. In this tutorial I'm gonna be talking about the basic of the hack TECHS, insta-hacks, urosnaps, and all the TECHS I have in mind for today. So I want to say a few things before we get into the match and start the explanation. The first is that English is not my first language, so if you hear something that feels weird or I don't know, something like that, it's just that I don't speak English in my daily basis, so is that, okay? And the second thing I want to say to you is that if you want to really learn how to perform WESKER TECHS, like hack TECHS and all that, don't skip the first explanation of this video, because that's the basis, okay? I'm gonna be talking about the basic hack TECHS, how to do a hack TECH, and if we don't understand how a hack TECH works, no matter how simple or how well you think you know them, if you clicked in this video is because you have some doubts, and I'm gonna be trying to help you with that. And for that I need you to understand how the basics work, okay? So I'm gonna be talking about basic hack TECHS, how I said first, then we'll go ahead and talk about other TECHS like insta-hacks and all that, as I said. Okay, so without further ado say, I think let's go into the match and we'll start with the basics. Okay, so into the game. Well, first you need to understand something about the hack TECHS, and when you have this thing I'm going to say in mind, you will be able to try to perform any other hack TECHS and any other TECHS when it comes to the hack TECHS, okay? So first, let's say this object, right? If I don't hack TECH, I go that way, right? Like this. And see how far I go. I could have gone even more far, but it's okay. If I didn't hack TECH, I would have gone this way, right? Because it's my dash. The game detects that I want to go that way when I press the charge, but with the hack, I end up here. And here's where you need to understand this. If you have something in front of you, like imagine there was a wall here or a barrier, I will just bump like here. For example, here, let's say a survivor was here and I wanted to catch him with my hack, I will just bump here. See? You see? I bumped. But in this tile, I end up here. And that's pretty simple. It's because I didn't have anything here in front of me. And as you can see, I have this in front of me. So that's why I bump. So what I want to say with this is that if you have something near the object you want to hack and it's like in front of you, you won't really be able to perform any hacks unless it's really near you, the survivor, and something like that, but that won't happen, trust me. So with that understand, you can perform things like this hack TECH, okay, pretty simple, even with the second dash. As I said, I could have gone farther away, but it's okay for now. So how do I do a hack TECH? Now that we understand that if I have something in front of me, I won't be able to hack. Well, when you want to hack an object like this, I recommend you to like practice in surface like this that are just like, how can I say it? Well, a smooth surface, okay? You need to understand that if you look too much to your right in this case, or too much to your left here, you won't be able to perform the hack tech either for the restriction that we have now on Wesker, because as you can see, if I don't have like a minimum distance, I can't pull any dashes. So with this restriction, and if I don't have like the proper angle, okay, I won't be able to perform a single hatch, a simple hack. Okay, so I'm gonna get it in another match, and I'm gonna keep explaining this. Okay, so here we are again. All right. So what I was talking about well, as I was saying about the right angle, is that we currently have this restriction. Sorry for my English. Where if I don't have the like minimum separation with the object that I have in front of me, I can't perform any dashes. Okay, so with that and with the right angle, as I was saying, if you look too much to the right in this case, or too much to the left in this other case, you can perform the dash or any hack text. But if you look, let's say like more or less 45 degrees, even less, okay, you can do the hack. Alright, so it's something like that. You need to just open a bit the angle, look something like this, but not too much, because if you do it too much, you either go that way or moonbound. Alright, and what's a moonbound? You probably are asking yourself right now. Well, a moonbound is when you want to hack something. Let's say if I hack this correctly, I go this way. But if I don't, if I look too much this way, I'll just slide a bit here, but I will get over here, and you'll see how. You have seen right now that I did the proper hack tech, looking more or less, as I said, 45, even less degrees. But if I do something like this, let me try, it's a bit more, you saw, right? You saw that I opened a bit more my angle, like almost 90 degrees. Well, not that much, but it's just for you to understand. And I like slide it a bit and then went this way. And that's what happens when you don't have the proper degree on the hack tech. Alright? But you're probably thinking also that moonbound is useless. And no, it's just that if you know how to do some, well, more advanced hack techs, it can help you do more techs. Alright? But for now, you need to know that. You need to have the right angle with the hack, so you can do something like this or something like this with the second dash. Alright? Now I'll try to show you some examples with the first hack, with the first dash performing hacks, where you'll see how they work. Alright? Well, now we are going to be talking about how the hacks are really, like how you can get some value out of them. And the hack techs really work when you understand that the first dash it's normally not that useful because it's quite more shorter. And well, if you checked my add-ons, I have walkie that makes my first dash even shorter, and I'll explain you why. The second dash, as you know, is a bit more like it gets you more far away from your initial point, and with that dash is the one we want to hack things and get the survivors. Alright? Because since it gets you like farther away, it's more like useful in that way. So how do we use the second dash in a hack? Well, let's say a survivor was here and I wanted to catch him. If I do this, if he moves, I don't get him. Alright? But if I do it properly and I get to got him off guard, we can do something like this and we get him. Yeah, there's a chance he move and something like that always, but it doesn't matter. If you know how to do it quickly enough, you'll catch survivors more often than you think. Alright? Nah, he moved. But you need to have that in mind, okay? The second dash normally is the one that gets you the profitable hack tech and the survivor, okay? And by the way, of course, the second dash works like the first one, okay? Something like this, you see? So now that we understand these two things, that you need to have nothing in front of you, and the second dash is normally the better one, let's say, to catch survivors. We are going to be talking about insta-hacks, okay? First the normal ones and then the ones with urosnaps. And how does an insta-hack work? Well, it's pretty simple once you understand it, sorry. And is that you need to get to the corner of the object you want to hack. This works the same way for normal hack tags, okay? I didn't say that, but it is. You need to get to the corner of the object. In this case, I want to hack this car, okay? It's a smooth surface, so you get to the corner, and when you do, you need to go backwards, but at the same time you charge your power, okay? And when you do, make sure you have like another step, right? So it gets you to the perfect distance to perform the insta-hack, okay? There's people that they are so skilled they don't need to do this step, but as mortals we sort of need to, okay? Not every time, but normally, yeah. So I'll try to do it, okay? Okay, so now in the corner of the object, you saw that, right? So that's how it works. You walk backward, you charge your power at the same time, you walk just one little step more, and then you dash. That dash will get you to the corner you are going to hack. And what it works for me is the perfect click when I get to the corner, okay? So I dash and I hack the object. But for many people, what really works is that when they get to the corner, they spam the left click, at the same time they press D in that case, because you are going to hack the right part of the car, and they do the insta hack that way, okay? But for me, what it works is that when I go backwards and all the stuff, as I said, I just get the perfect click and hack the object. But try these two ways, like my way with the perfect click or the spamming thing. What it suits you better, it's what you need to practice with, okay? So with the insta-hack thing in mind, okay, where, as I said, you get in the corner, you walk backwards, and as you do it, you charge your power, you hit your first dash that will have you here in the corner you are going to hack. Press or spam the left click for the second dash, you'll get the insta-hack. But we have an extra layer for this insta-hacking thing, where if you do a urosnap just before, well, not my bad, just right after the second dash, there's a small window where you do the urosnap, and that makes your Wesker look where you've done the urosnapping thing. And how do you do an urosnap? Just before showing you any insta-hack with urosnap, you need to know how urosnaps works, and I'm gonna tell you what it better works for me, because I didn't play like in 9 months, and I came back like a month and a half ago because I was studying and all that stuff. So I lost track of how was Wesker actually, but I managed to understand one thing about how urosnapping works. And when you understand that, it's pretty simple too. It's like the normal hack tech thing. When you understand that if you have something in front of you, it won't work, this is the same. But not in the same way, you know. I'm going to explain you how it is. Okay, so you know Wesker, when you use the two charges it has, after the first dash, when you click for the second dash, there's a small window or like perfect frame where you can like quickly flick anywhere, and you'll go the way you were looking before doing that, but with the urosnap it will make it look like cooler. For example, you can get pretty nasty clips with urosnapping thing, and it's something like this. I'm gonna try, okay? What you saw, more or less. I didn't go that way, but in that window, okay, or perfect frame, what we want to do is we charge first, and in the second charge, the moment we press it, just right after, you don't need to wait, just right after you use your second dash, you quickly turn anywhere you want, just a quick flip, and it will get you the urosnap. So I'm gonna try again, like going that way, okay? I didn't get it. I will show you some clips, some pretty nasty clips of the urosnaps, because when I try to explain it to you, it's like I'm more I don't know, I can't really get it, you know, because it's not the same like explaining it than showing it. So the thing is, when you master urosnapping in a match, it's really simple. I mean, at least for me, there's a lot of people that says that they don't get the urosnapping, but when you understand what it suits you when it comes to the sensitivity and all that stuff, the DPI, I don't know if that's how you say it in English, but I think so, yeah. So for me, what it works is this. In controls, I have this mouse sensitivity of the 60%, right? And my DPI is like 5,000. Yeah, I'm like currently in 5,000 DPI, and it helps me a lot, because at first, when you set your DPI high, it's a bit weird, you know, because we are used to less high sensitivity, and it's weird. But when you get used to it, you you can spam your snapping. I mean, as I said, it's not the same explaining it than doing it. I don't know if at this point I have shown you some clips. I will try to do so when editing this video, but the urosnapping thing is that you first dash, second dash, you saw that, right? Second dash, the moment you press it, so you saw. I almost said a Spanish word like when trying to explain this, but you saw that, right? I pressed the first one, and as soon as I press the second one, you see, I go this way, but I'm looking that way. It's a poor urosnap, this one, but I'll make sure you see really great clips where you can almost perceive that I have it like in my muscle memory. I just perform the urosnap and I get it. It's just like you need to keep in mind that you need to look for a good DPI, a good sensitivity, and once you get that done, you practice and you'll get them. It's not like a technical thing like a hack tech where you need to where you need to like look in a certain angle or something like that. It's just getting used to what it suits you. Alright? Another thing I remember about urosnapping is that this that I'm going to tell you, just if you want to try, only try it at first. Alright? Because it's something I don't recommend getting used to, because it makes your gameplay weirder and less smoother. And what it is, okay, so it's setting your game here in 30 FPS, because when you set the game to 30 FPS, you have like a bigger window that makes it easier to urosnap. Alright, so at first, yeah, you can try go in a match with bots and try see by yourself. It helps you to understand some things about urosnapping, but when you get to understand what suits you better for a urosnap, set your FPS back to, I don't know, 60, 90, the one you use. Alright? But for practice, and my suggestion only at first, try 30 FPS. You can also skip this. You can just play on your normal FPS, and trust me, you'll get it anyway. But 30 FPS, maybe it helps you a bit at first, so why not? If you want to try. Okay, so here we are again, and I just remember many people asked me how did I flick so fast in some of my videos, and well, let me say they are not like the flicks you can do with Wesker some time ago, because let's say the prime flicks Wesker had, they were sort of removed, okay, with the latest patches and all that stuff that got Wesker nerfed, and they are more like urosnapping, 60% urosnapping, 40% flick, more or less, okay? Because if you want to flick, you need to wait a bit more than you were like used to wait in the prime days of Wesker flicking. Okay, because if you don't wait these minimum frames, you'll end up like doing a weird urosnap that it isn't really a flick, like something like this. You see, it's like a urosnap, and I wanted to go that way and it really didn't work, so I ended up urosnapping and going this way. So just, this is not like something to learn about, it's just something you need to be aware of, because some people try to flick, and as you can see, I really can't. I wanted to go this way, but as soon as I flicked, I went this way because, just for you to understand it in a simple way, it's like blocked, more or less. It's not really blocked, but it's the current state Wesker is in, so you can really flick. Okay, you need to wait a bit more, and then maybe you can get something like a urosnap or something like that that seems a flick, but it's not a 100% flick like it was before, right? So just that. Let's go with the insta-hacks with urosnaps. Okay, so insta-hacking with urosnaps, at first they are a bit tricky. You're gonna get frustrated, as I did at first, because right now it's harder to do because of the Wesker nerfs and the hand reset and all that stuff you may have heard. And how do you really do an insta-hack with urosnap? Well, it's the same way when we talk about insta-hacking earlier. It's the same, right? The same movement, working backwards and at the same time charging your power, the little extra step, the charge, it's everything the same. But if you remember when I talked to you about urosnapping, I said that in the second dash, right after you click it, you look another way. Alright? Well, this is the same. You charge your power, the extra step, you do your first dash, and as soon as you click your second dash here, you flick, quickly flick, wherever you want. It doesn't need to be like in a specific way. You just flick and you get the urosnap. I'm gonna try and you see it by yourself, alright? You saw that, right? As you have seen, right now insta-hacking is already difficult because of the nerfs Wesker has, but it's even more difficult to urosnap because it's like trying two things in one chance, more or less. But trust me, when you get how to urosnap, it's harder to just insta-hack than to insta-hack plus the urosnap, because you get used to the movement and all that stuff, and when you try to do a normal insta-hack, it's harder than doing a insta-hack with urosnap. Alright, but at first it's tricky because of that. You need to get it perfectly done, and if you don't get that perfect frames, you can't do the insta-hack, and even less the insta-hack with urosnap. I'm gonna try. Well, more or less, but I bumped because I probably have looked in a bad angle or something like that. As I said, it needs to be perfect frames and the right moment. So right now, don't really get mad at yourself because it's really hard. I mean, you can get it, and believe me, I got it. And when it comes to a real match situation, sometimes the muscle memory just kicks in and I get it at first. But many other tries, you intend to do a insta-hack with urosnap and you can get it. Surfaces are weird, and survivors just keep moving. And if you add the thing that right now it's harder to do, really don't push yourself. Just try to master first the normal hacks with the second dash, the insta hacks even, and if you really want to do insta hacks with urosnaps, first try to master urosnapping without any insta hacks, just going for survivors in a straight line. You try to urosnap, you get it. As I said this, I'm gonna put an example so you can see by yourself that I got the other day on a match, and believe me, it was all muscle memory. Once you get it, it's not that hard. So if you get the urosnapping thing and the insta hacking, not that much, but if you get the hack thing, the hack tech thing, and the ear snapping thing, the rest is just a learning process that sooner or later you're gonna get it, believe me. Okay, so at last, let's do a quick summary, alright, of what I've said that can help you. And so, for the hack text, remember, have nothing in front of you. For the hack text also, the one that you mostly will use, it's the the second dash, because the first is shorter, so keep in mind the second one is better. As you have seen, I bumped at the end of the hack tech because I have this in front of me. So remember those two things. Second dash for catching survivors directly with the hack tech and your power, and have nothing in front of you. For insta-hacking, the walking thing, as you charge your power, corner, perfect click or spamming, and you get it. For ear snapping, first dash, and as soon as you click the second dash, you flick away, no matter where, you just flick away. For insta-hacking and ear snapping at the same time, same process as insta-hack, and with the only thing that right after you do the second dash, has a normal ear snap, you flick your camera. So guys, I know this tutorial may be a bit messy and also a bit confusing for having, I think, 3 or 4 texts in the same video. So don't worry if you have any doubts, and believe me, there are more texts that I didn't explain in this video. So what I want to say is that if you have more doubts, you want to learn more texts or something like that, let me know. Either way, I'm gonna do another tutorial. I'm gonna try to explain myself better, because as I said, English is not my first language, so also I'm a bit sick today. So I'm like a bit stunned, like a flash grenade in my head, and I'm stung. So just let me know what you want to know about Wesker, but for now I hope you understand how hack techs work, how insta-hacking work, and all that stuff. As I said, there are more texts that I want to show to you. They are easier when you understand this part. So let's say this is the first part of the tutorial. There will be a second part. If you support this video, I'll try to hand it to you faster, because I will understand the support, you need to, or better said, you want to learn Wesker, so I'll try to be faster. But if not, don't worry, because either way, as I said, I'm gonna drop a part 2 where I show other texts, mostly variations of hack texts. So yeah, that's everything for today. I'm gonna leave you some place where you'll see this thing I explained and everything I told you. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said, if you have any doubts, let me know. See you soon.